Hi, everybody. Happy Sunday. I hope your day is going well. We have sunshine here today in Windsor, and I just came from church, and the Lord spoke to me today in the preaching that we were doing today. My pastor was preaching on the book of Acts, Acts 7, sorry, 17, Acts 12, verse 1 to 12, which was all about James, the brother of John, getting killed and by King Herod, and then Peter being put in prison, and then the angel coming to his rescue. The reason why I want just to come here and say a few words about it is just because I've read this book many times, but my pastor was explaining something that I never noticed before, and it really just struck me, especially when it comes to the whole prosperity teaching, the way people like to, teach prosperity. Like, once you become a Christian, the Lord will save you. Yeah, the Lord will save you. I mean, like the Lord will provide for you, give you money, like, save you out of, your financial troubles or this and that and all that. Like, they just make it look like you will always have a great life, once you become a Christian. But that is not the truth, because even Christ himself said in the Bible, like that's we will suffer in this world. In this world, we'll go through trials and tribulations, right? But the way prosperity teaches it, that's not how they teach it. They always make it look like once you become a Christian, life is good. And that is a lie. So my pastor just drew our attention to one thing, well, a few things, but one thing that struck me in this regarding to that is that the fact that James was killed. James, even though James was faithful, James was following Jesus, he was walking with Jesus. He was one of the disciples. He's like one of the sons of thunder, that, Jesus gave them a nickname, him and his brother. And yet James was killed. And Peter was saved. He went to jail, obviously. He was going to be killed the next day, but the angel came and saved him to get him out of that situation. Now, if you preach prosperity, you're gonna be like, oh, God is gonna save you, you're gonna be great, everything's gonna be fantastic, everything you're gonna touch is gonna work and all that. But we're forgetting that both James' death and Peter's rescue is all in the will of God. One suffered to death and one came out alive, right? And what just struck me is the fact that if you have faith in Jesus, if you have faith in God, have your faith in the character of the Lord. Do not have faith in the outcome, because the outcome might be what you will not want, what you will not anticipate, right? But they're still within the will of God. God will still decide, like, I will rescue out of this situation. I'll let you go through that trial. Either way, it is for his glory and our good, right? Either way, it is God's will. His divine will be done, whether you like it or not, right? So it's great to preach prosperity, but I just feel like it's one-sided. They only teach the A of like having great this, great that, but they don't teach about the B when God says no. I am in the will of God, but God said no. I have been, sacrificing myself and obeying God and being faithful, but God said no. And that is his divine will. That is his sovereignty. He can say yes in rescuing you, like he did with Peter. He can say no in, well, not killing you, but yeah, you know what I mean, in letting you go through the trial or into death, like James. But either way, it is God's will. So don't just look at God in one aspect, like, he's going to give me this and this and that, but also look at God in the aspect of God. He's the final word, that God, he's sovereign. Everything, whether it's a good outcome, a bad outcome or not, it's still his will being done. And put your faith put your faith in the character of God. Do not put your faith in the outcome, because the outcome will always disappoint you sometimes. So you need to make sure that you keep your faith in God. Like, I'm going through a struggle right now, and yet I know that my God is still in control, and yes, I know that my Lord told me, like, to trust in him with all my heart and not to lean in my own understanding. because his ways are higher, his ways are better, because he's seen my future, he's seen the end, right? So yeah, that's what I came in to say, that both James' death and Peter's rescue in Acts 12 was the divine sovereign will of God. So put your faith in the character of God and do not put your faith in the outcome.